Welcome. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the work I do with food cravings. If you crave chocolate, if you have strong cravings for sugar or pasta, or if you obsess about food, feel guilty about food, this is a solution for you. My clients hold their own acupressure points. I guide them through a focused process, and at the end of the process, their habits have changed. It's because we're focusing on the vision centers of the brain, and it's just a wonderful way to target specifically what is causing your craving and then let it go. My work as an acupuncturist has helped me with my work with food cravings because we use acupuncture points that are related to the vision centers of the brain with verbal statements that help you unwind the patterns that are causing your cravings. It targets it specifically, helps you let it go. It's really simple. I used to work in hospitals. I used to work in community clinics. I used to work with private clients just doing nutrition. And what I found was that people often knew what they should be doing. They, if anything, it was nutrition overload and like, oh, what's the best thing for me? People get overwhelmed. So I would show them what they needed to do that was good for them, and they would do it. But then they'd call me up, oh, I've fallen off the bandwagon, and just all the guilt, the shame, the blah, 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 and I would help them get back on the bandwagon, cut down your sugar and you won't have the sugar cravings. But it kept, things would happen in people's lives. They'd get stressed out. They'd have a relationship breakup, whatever it was, lost their job, and they'd start into the same old patterns. So now I can help people so that they can be in alignment with what they want with their food. And it's so much better. I so much more enjoy helping people just eliminate all the obstacles to eating well and feeling good and being in charge of their eating. That's the main thing, is that people are in charge with their eating with this method. There's so much shame in our society about eating and people feeling guilty about eating and, oh, that person shouldn't be eating that much. And so my clients come to me with a lot of shame and guilt about their habits. Sometimes they've kept it a secret about what they're doing, and they know better, but they do it anyways, and then they beat themselves up. It's just this whole vicious cycle. So what happens in a session is that my clients find out why they're craving, they let it go, and then the shame starts to dissolve, and they feel better about themselves. So it's actually a boost to their self-esteem because they're acting more in alignment with what they know is good for them. There's a good reason why people crave, and once they let it go, it's gone for good, and they can get on with their lives. So that's my message, is just to share that there is a solution. Oftentimes my clients are very skeptical when they come to see me because they've tried everything and they haven't been successful, so why should I be able to help them? But what they realize is that as they go through the process, the patterns of behavior start to unwind in front of their eyes. It's like they're having insights and realizing, oh, that's why I crave. Oh, that makes sense. And it's usually something that made sense to them when they were 5 years old or 10 years old or 20 years old or whatever. And those habits don't really serve them anymore, and they just let them go. It's a natural process that happens when you focus with the points. It just retrains the neural pathways. My goal with this work is to really help people enjoy food. You can't enjoy food if you're craving it, if you're obsessed with it, if you're feeling guilty about having eaten it or thinking about eating it. I want people to feel satisfied with what they eat. I want them to feel good about what they eat, enjoy it, and really just have a healthy relationship with food. When I work with you, I get to see where your cravings come from. And they're not so different from the person before you or the person after you. We're not all that different from each other. We crave because we're trying to get an old familiar feeling back, something that we felt a long time ago, and our brains are hardwired to repeat that same feeling of satisfaction. And what happens is that when you only have one way to get that satisfaction, you're locked in, and you're kind of victim to that pattern. So when people find out why they crave, it opens up all kinds of possibilities so that they can feel satisfied whether they have that food that they used to crave or if they don't. There's just a greater sense of satisfaction. So it's not about giving up things that you like or the things that you enjoy. It's about feeling satisfied and then deciding, do I want to have that or do I not want to have that? Because you're the one who's in charge. You'll be in charge of what you eat. If you have food cravings, I encourage you to check out this technique because there is nothing like it. It is powerful, it is simple, it's effective. There's nothing else like it. If you're struggling with food cravings, I just want you to know that there is a solution. What I love about this work is that I get to see people come in with a big problem that they think they can't get help with, and I help them untangle this big knot. So I'm so excited about this work. There's nothing more I'd rather do.